2353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16, kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. Quickbid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News. I trust you're having a lovely Saturday so far. My name is Jacky Wambiru and our sign language interpreter is Lucy Mauro. We have a comprehensive bulletin lined up for you this afternoon. Remember, this is an interactive segment where you can reach us on our Twitter handle at KBC Channel 1 or at Jacky Wambiru. Now, to kick us off, the Cabinet is set to take a 2-week recess beginning Tuesday next week. Head of Public Service Joseph Kenyo has said. Kenyo says the end-of-year recess will give members of the Cabinet a scheduled break from weekly meetings and an opportunity to spend the festive season with their families. In a statement to newsrooms, Kenyo stated that during the recess, all scheduled presidential engagements will continue uninterrupted while the calendar of the National Security Council and the National Security Council Advisory Committee will also continue as planned. Kenya says the delivery of government services shall continue uninterrupted and at the same service standard. And moving on, police are investigating a break-in at Magarini Member of Parliament House Michael Kingi. The unknown number of thugs is reported to have made away with household goods and other personal valuables in Serena area of Malindi town. The robbers are reported to have gained entry into the house after forcefully breaking the door.
The robbers are reported to have gained access into the house at around 11 a.m. on Friday, and no one was present at the time of the incident.
Mimi niliacha hii apartment kwa hakuna mtu anakaa pale kwa sababu familia yangu haikai mahali pale, lakini hakuna wakati hata kulikuwa na wizi.
Malindi legislator Michael Kingi said the thugs made away with mattresses, beds, gas cylinders, plates, and leaving the house empty.
Iba vitu hata ambapo huwezi dhania kwamba mtu anaweza iba. Sababu waliiba paka mattresses za vitanda, wakaiba hata jiko, mitungi ya gas, wakaiba hata masufuria, wakaiba hata masahani, wakaiba kila kitu ambacho wanaona ni kama walikuwa na njama kukusanya kila kitu ambacho kiko kwa nyumba watoke nacho.
He said he was notified of the incident as he was about to fly out to Malindi. He said the motive of the broad daylight robbery was yet to be established as investigations begin.
Kiri mambo yote nitaachia polisi ili kama ni kuhoji majirani ama mtu yote ni wakati gani waliingia pale hatuwezi jua, lakini polisi I think venye wamechukua hiyo hatua watajua kweli uko wapi.
For Channel 1 News, I'm Ben Troinju.
And away from that, let's head over to Eldama Ravine, where our reporter Irene Muchoma is on standby with Baringo Governor Stanley Kiptesa, whereby we'll be looking at matters state of affairs. Muchoma, kindly bring us to speed.
Wambiru, good afternoon. We are coming to you from Eldama Ravine, the county of Baringo. The county with beautiful landscapes, but we're here to establish the state of preparedness ahead of school reopening in less than a month time, and also the state of tourism in the county of Baringo. You can remember the county of Baringo is one that was hardly hit with the floods that affected most parts of the country. A number of schools were marooned by the floods, and pupils were forced to go back home as well as students. And right away, I'm engaging the governor for Baringo County, Stanley Kiptis, to tell us how prepared are we now that pupils are preparing to go back to schools amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you, Irene. I'm happy to know that we have a strong team in place. That is the Department of Water, the Department of Education, as well as Environment and Tourism. We form an agency team comprising also of the national government and some NGOs and partners. So far, we have 22 ECD centers that are actually inside the water in Lake Baringo and also parts of Lake Bogoria. 6 primary schools are also submerged, and we have 4 health facilities that are submerged. What we've done is that we have actually advised the parents that come January 2021, the children should be taken to the nearest primary school, because all primary schools in Baringo County have an ECD center. We are expecting to get support from the national government on the aspect of provincial of tents, on maybe on those institutions that have a larger number of or a greater population of students, and that is in Lake Baringo, Kambia Samaki Primary School. We have also a challenge in Loruk Primary School, and some also will have to go to Ngambo Primary School. Those of them that are in those sites of Keserian will have to go closer to the hills, because that's where we are going to have the ECD centers. And I want also to appreciate the report that I'm getting, that they have been in a position of supplying some water tanks of 120 liters to these institutions. It will be used for hand washing. We are also planning to actually set aside 22 million, which enable us to construct 22 classes. Because we have been advised by the meteorologists and also the geologists that the water in Lake Baringo might not recede anytime soon. It might take some time. They never actually projected the years. And you know, learning is a continuous process. Learners will not wait until the water subsides or recedes. So we are going a long way in actually sacrificing a lot to ensure that no child is left behind. I want also to appreciate the parents, the community of Jamus and the community of the Tuken and the Pokots, that they are very cooperative and they are also understanding the situation on the ground. A number of them are in camps. We have 3 camps, and I want to indicate that we are really getting support from the national government and partners. We have had some ambassadors visiting us, like Turkey. We had also the UK, and we had the French ambassador visiting us and supporting us. What we want actually to still try to support that community is with a mobile clinic, because even the health facilities are submerged. So we have one at Kambia Samaki, and we are going to use our mobile clinic to ensure that the community is served, because a health nation is a working nation.
Okay, when Governor, with all this in place, what about the tourism sector? We also pride in the tourism industry in Baringo County, having a number of lakes and also other destinations. How are we intending to bring back the sector to life as we come back in January?
It is good to note that our major tourist region is local. We usually get up to 150,000 per annum. But this year, we have faced a lot of challenges. By this moment, we used to collect, as in previous year, we collected 67 million. But as of now, we have just collected 672,000. That is an indicator that tourism in Baringo has faced a huge challenge. Tourists from diaspora, because of lockdowns and the issue of lack of flights and the corona, we actually don't have tourists from abroad. It is only those that are residing within the country and that are visiting our region. We used to have our major tourist region is China. They usually visit us between June and October, which I want to say that is at the peak within our region. But now we are not seeing anybody coming because of Corona. Also, because of the flooding, it has covered a number of our infrastructure. So we are now doing roads. We have done 3 times, moving from one area to the next, because we were not really so much prepared and we were not aware of the level of the rise of the water. So far, we have actually used a lot of money. We did 17 kilometers. We have also repeated this, doing again another 18. So that has actually taken a huge part of our resources. So the Department of Infrastructure and Transport is really facing a lot of challenge. Now, those are the sides of, like even in Lake Baringo, where the landing pitch, the landing pay now is submerged. So far, we have really to come back again and try to redesign. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wambiru, that is His Excellency, the Governor for Baringo County, Stanley Kiptis, telling us the state as it is. And Wambiru will be keeping camp here for a good time, and I will be able to bring you more details back to the city. Wambiru?
Well, thank you so much, Irene Machuma, joining us from Eldama Ravine, whereby that was the Baringo Governor Stanley Kiptis pointing out that measures have been put in place to ease learning ahead of school reopening in January. We shall be keeping you updated on the details. Now, moving on. Former Nairobi County Governor Mike Sonko has accused the Senate of playing to the whims of the state days after senators voted to remove him from office. Sonko alleges that some senators were coerced into siding with the Nairobi County Assembly to hound him out of office.
Former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko has taken to social media to vent his frustrations over his impeachment. Sonko maintained that his ouster was a pure witch hunt orchestrated by those disgruntled by his leadership, vowing to fight to the end. The governor alleges that a few senators were compromised to kick him out of office, despite his valid rebuttal of the case presented by Nairobi County Assembly. Sonko spoke even as he prepares to challenge his impeachment in court on Monday. For Channel 1 News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
Moving on, Machakos County Commissioner Frederick Ndunga has warned security officers against abating land grabbing in the region. Speaking in Gelani area in Athi River, Ndunga blamed the rising cases of land conflict on some corrupt officers whom he accused of colluding with cartels to irregularly acquire land in the area.
Corrupt officials in Machakos County are on the spot of a rampant land conflict in Mavoko area. County Commissioner Frederick Ndunga says the government will not hesitate to ensure that corrupt land officers are dealt with accordingly.
Chief, NCC, DCC, Askari, OCS, nani, all the ranks, shirikiana na wahalifu wa kimashamba at your own peril. Tutatenda haki.
Ndunga spoke in response to rising cases of land grabbing in Mavoko, a vice that has seen many locals lose their parcels of land.
Sasa hivi hatutaki kusumbuliwa, hatutaki kuwa intimidated kwa sababu ya individuals wanatoka kule wako na titles. Isitufukuze kwa shamba yetu, kwa maana hii ni shamba ambao ni ancestral land. Hii ni community land. Na hakuna mtu ana haki ya kutolewa katika community land ipewe mwingine kutoka nje.
Wakati mwingi huku wale wanasema wana claim hiyo shamba ni yao, wanatoka Nairobi na wapi kila mahali mwa Kenya wana claim hivyo, na ni hiyo shamba imekaa miaka 37 bila watu.
Na kama sasa kama wakati huu tunapomolewa hayo manyumba, tuko kwa shida kubwa sana. Serikali inaweza kutuangalilia ili kitu gani kinaendelea, hao askari wanasumbua watu usiku.
The county commissioner said security agencies will work hand in hand with relevant land stakeholders to resolve all outstanding land disputes. Yusufar, Channel 1 News.
And on matters health, persons living with albinism are decrying stigmatization during the COVID-19 pandemic. The group says when the first case was reported in the country, they were associated with the disease due to their color.
Meet Joyce Onyangi at her home in Nyansara village of Sengera in Kisii County. The 20-year-old is busy with her daily chores. She recalls how living with albinism has been an uphill task, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. When the first case was confirmed in Kenya, she faced stigma with her peers and even neighbors associating her with the disease due to her complexion.
Nilipata challenges wakati nilisikia inaua watu kama sisi because we have low immunity. So, nikakaa na stress sana juu nilitengwa, watu wakanitoroka wenzangu, wakanitoroka even management wote wakanitoroka wakiniambia msichana unastahili kurudi kwenyu juu hii ugonjwa inaua watu kama nyinyi, unaweza kufia hapa na huko ni mbali.
Further, she faced stigma at school with the school management examining her before other students so that she could leave for home earlier.
Kufika kwetu, watu wananiambia umesikia watu wanakufanga kama nyinyi. So, wewe jirinde tu sana, usitoke kwa chua, usitengane na watu, unaweza waambukiza corona. Juu hiyo corona imekuja watu kama nyinyi, maybe ndio mko na hiyo shida, ama maybe ndio mmedevelop that hiyo ugonjwa.
Onyangi, who is the second child to be born with albinism in her family, narrates how they have had to face stigmatization owing to lack of information on the disease.
Shida social distance 1 meters away. Tukikaa kama kwa organization ama kwa church the way zimefunguliwa, uwezi ona mtu Kenya anafanya, although ni science inatumika sana. So mtu kutoka mbali uwezi muona. Ni lazima ufike karibu ndio muonane na yeye. Hiyo inakaa challenges kama sisi watu arubino hatuwezi ona.
According to Onyangi's friend Lydia Omoyo, who is also living with albinism, they need support to be understood by the society.
Nikiwa mtoto wa miaka 7 nilianza kuona dalili differences from my brothers and sisters. Baba mwenyewe hakuwa ananipenda. Kuona hivyo nikaona ni heri nisome kwa bidii ili nikuje kushinda my brothers kwa sababu mimi nimeona dalili, yani differences. Sasa nikafika class 8 sioni ubao, sioni chochote, but nimemaliza class 8. Sasa singeambia, hakuna mwenye ningeambia kwa sababu wazazi hawanioni kama mimi pia ningefanya kitu ya muhimu kwa that family.
Her mother, Sifia Kerubo, says COVID-19 has compounded challenges of bringing up children with albinism since they require sunscreen oil for their delicate skin and also need to eat well to boost their immunity.
Serikali inasema walemavu wanasaidiwa. Kwa nini wangu watasaidiwa? Hata majirani wanasema nimepata watoto au wasomi au wakuwa wa shule, wananichekelea. Mimi nimepata watoto wabaya, lakini nawachia Mungu, ni Mungu alinipa hiyo watoto.
My appeal to the community is actually to give them they are not unable as such. Kindly support them. Do not stigmatize them. Do not keep the children, especially who are disabled, in their houses. They have the right to education. They have the right to other, health care.
Meanwhile, all public schools will have running water ahead of the reopening as part of the health measures to curb the spread of COVID-19. With less than 3 weeks to go before students return to class, the Ministry of Water has assured parents that provision of water had been addressed. According to the Chief Administrative Secretary in the ministry, Dr. Andrew Tuimur, they are working with donors to address the issue of water supply.
We don't know what the COVID issue would have done to us. So water is very critical, and now everybody knows that we require water. We provided a lot of water to the vulnerable areas, water boosters, water tanks.
We are also looking at the issue of supply of air. We know that in some instances the meter just reads, but no water is coming in. So we shall also regulate that. There will be obligations on these water providers. That one, they must make sure that water is provided. What they're billing for is what has been provided.
Nancy Okware, Channel 1 News.
That report by Nancy Okware brings us to our fast break here. Don't go too far. We'll be right back.
the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
Ni mimi. Ulitoa pikipiki? Mlitani sitaomoka. Ni yako. Hii nduti ni yangu. Niliwahi pale Quickbit. Quickbit? Quickbit imekuja kusaidia wananchi kama sisi. Nilinunua 399 shillings. Juu nilikuwa the lowest unique bidder. 399 shillings. Quickbit shilingi moja unaweza nunua free. Shilingi 2 unaweza nunua microwave. Shilingi 5 unaweza nunua hata gari. So tupeleke huko hata mtu aende huko.
Jiunga na Quickbit ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16 kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbit.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. Quickbit, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
A love from the past will mark the love from today.
I love you, Mauro. I love you like I have never loved before.
Now the same obsession that ruined the past will try to destroy the present. Only this time, love will have more than one obstacle ahead.
I need a doctor to tend to her right away. Please, miss. A doctor. Call a doctor.
Loving you is all I want.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Of course. Can I to blame for the world coming down? Can I to blame for the recent floods? Blame me even for the potholes on the road. Blame me for your stupidity. Blame me even for you coming to grocery.
Wow, Julia. You mean you are shining in gold nowadays?
Look at this docon. Do you even listen to yourself before you speak?
Oh, please. We both know that I am a giver. Go spoil yourself, I know you need it.
Well, thank you. I am not giving you a cut, Farah.
If you are referring to Kinanzui, you should know Kinanzui is no longer the watchman.
They have found someone else. This one used to behave like he was the old school.
Classmates, every Saturday on KBC.
It's thrilling, intriguing, unpredictable with unique match experience that will leave you yearning for more. It's the second round of the DFB Cup competition of the German Football Association from the 22nd of December 2020 through to the 13th of January 2021. And it is happening live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 as SV Elversberg takes on Mönchengladbach. Your holidays are bound to be exciting on board your true sports partner.
Welcome back. Religious leaders and civil society groups in Isiolo County are calling for a speedy resolution to the health workers' strike. The leaders are decrying the continued suffering of patients following the interruption of services as health workers demand for better working conditions.
The leaders say the ongoing health workers' strike has dealt a blow to the public who cannot afford to seek healthcare services in private facilities. Isiolo Interfaith Network Secretary Bishop Stephen Kalunyu noted that dispensaries across Isiolo have remained closed for the second week, a situation that has deprived patients crucial and basic healthcare services such as immunization and maternity services, especially in the remote areas where there are no private hospitals.
Ni vibaya kwamba jambo hili
mpaka wa sasa halijasuluhishwa, na kama viongozi wa dini mbalimbali tumesema ya kwamba ni wajibu wa serikali kuhakikisha kwamba madaktari wamerudi kazini ili tuweze kuokoa maisha ya watoto wetu, tuokoe maisha ya wamama, tuokoe maisha ya watu wetu.
Kalunyu said that the religious leaders from both Muslim and Christian faiths have agreed to offer a platform to county public health officers to relay important messages.
Lakini sisi kama viongozi wa dini tumeona sisi ni fursa muhimu kuweza kuchukua uamuzi wa kuweza kuona tutoe mwito kwa serikali waone ni vipi wataweza kusaidiana na wahudumu wa afya ili kuweza kuona pengine shughulikia vipi matakwa yao ili ule mgomo uweze kusimamishwa na jamii ama wananchi waweze kuhudumiwa, sababu wananchi kwa saa hizi wanaumia sana.
Kuwaomba na kuwasihi madaktari zetu wote warejelee kazini na serikali iwashughulikie, kwa sababu vile ambavyo tumepata kujua ni kwamba dispensaries nyingi zishafungwa kwa sababu wafanyikazi wamegoma.
The Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims Isiolo Chapter Secretary Sheikh Dabaso Ali accused the government of misplaced priorities, availing funds for other endeavors such as BBI, while failing to meet the demands of the striking healthcare workers.
Wakati juzi madaktari waliweka vikwazo na kusema tarehe fulani tutagoma, mimi nafikiria serikali itaondoa mambo ya BBI na kurudia kwa maisha ya binadamu. Lakini hatujaona, hawajajali mpaka wa leo, hawajajali na watu wamekufa, wamemalizika.
For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Badi.
The proposed increment of constituencies in the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 has sparked debate amid queries on the criteria used to arrive at regions to receive more constituencies. Nyatike Member of Parliament Tom Odege found himself at crossroads as residents put him to task to explain why the subdivision was never included despite the constituencies having 7 wards. The MP said the review of the constituency's boundary shall be done by the mandated body IEBC. At the same time, he appealed for calm as IEBC verifies the signatures collected to amend the constitution.
We visited all the counties. I was amazed to hear a number of people who are working around Migori, and some of them are even coming from Nyatike here, talking about how the constituencies were divided. I want to ask them, when the BBI Secretariat came to Migori, what did they recommend? If they have a recommendation they made to the Secretariat, let them bring it in the public. Let us not go around cheating people, putting pressure on something if you don't understand. That one is misguiding the public. The only person who was mandated and negotiated on behalf of the community and the Kenya at large was Raila Amolo Odinga.
Now, in the sports arena, defender Joel Matip is expected to feature for English champions Liverpool when they play away to Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Now, the Reds top the English Premier League standings after a 2-1 win over Tottenham on Wednesday night, while Palace's draw against West Ham United leaves them 12th on the table. In other matches, Southampton host Manchester City at St Mary's Park. Arsenal travel to Merseyside to face Everton, while Newcastle United clash against Fulham at St James Park.
Liverpool defender Joel Matip is expected to be fit, having missed the midweek win over Tottenham due to a back spasm. Midfielder Naby Keita could get a rare start, having been on the bench on Wednesday, but with 8 days before the next game, manager Jurgen Klopp is likely to keep faith with the majority of his starting lineup from the Spurs game. Thiago Alcantara is set to rejoin team training next week after 2 months out with a knee injury, with fellow midfielders James Milner and Shaqiri closing in on returns.
Not that much a concern, because we 100% honest, we didn't feel it. Maybe that's the mistake, but it's not that we was a little bit about the opponents away. we were slightly unlucky as well in 1 or 2 games, I would say. But on the other side, it's a fact. It's the truth. We didn't win a lot away from home, so we try to change that by doing the right things again, and the not so right things not anymore. Put another shift in, just these kind of things. Playing the best possible football is actually the plan, away and home, and from time to time we could achieve that.
For 2 bookable offences and will serve a 1-match ban this weekend, but Nathaniel Southampton will look to continue their fine form as they host former champions Manchester City at the St Mary's Stadium, while Arsenal will hope to find redemption in Merseyside as they play guests to Everton. In the late kick-off match tonight, Newcastle United will come Fulham to the St James Park.
Well, that is all we had for you this afternoon. Thank you for keeping it Channel 1 Lunchtime News. We shall have more news in our subsequent bulletins at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Well, my name is Jacky Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter has been Lucy Mauro. Enjoy the rest of the day.